Hello friends, welcome back to another video. I'm Shani. If you are new, welcome, and to my regular watchers, I always appreciate you. On the menu today, let's make this delicious pumpkin fish soup. You're gonna absolutely love it. It is so delicious. So here are our ingredients. I'll start off with some fresh thyme, some scotch bonnet peppers. I have some allspice berries, some scallion, and my green seasoning. I have 2 yellow-tailed snappers. And then here I have some spices, some fish seasoning, black pepper, cayenne pepper, all-purpose seasoning. Here I have my pumpkin soup mix. This is my flour, cornmeal, and salt for my spinners or dumplings. Then I have some yellow yam, some potato, some carrot, pumpkin, corn, okra, and chocho or chayote. So now let's go ahead and season up the fish. I'll also chop everything and then show you later. So here, like I mentioned, are my fish. You can use any fish for your soup. So I'm just going to go ahead and make 2 nice incisions right there. I don't want this fish to break up, so I'm not going to cut it up quite a bit. So just 2 nice slits there so that the seasonings can get in. And I'm just going to go ahead and get the seasoning on. So like I mentioned, this is some fish seasoning, some black pepper, all-purpose seasoning, and a bit of cayenne pepper. So get that onto your fish. And then make sure you get the seasoning inside of the cavity as well. You want your fish to taste good and flavorful. Get into that slit as well. That's why you made it, so that you can season your fish well. Leave this to marinate for about 20 minutes. So now let's go ahead and make the dumpling. So here, like I said, I have some flour, cornmeal, and salt. I like to use cornmeal in my dumpling. It just gives it a nice flavor. So just get a little bit of water and add water as you go, a little bit at a time. You're looking for a semi-soft dough, not too hard. You don't want to work your dough too hard, otherwise you're going to get tough, hard dumplings, which is not what we want. We want nice, soft dumplings that are as light as clouds. So just keep rolling until you form a nice dough. And you can let your dough rest for about 10 or 5 minutes or so. That helps to relax the dough and helps you to get that really nice, soft dumplings like I mentioned. So after your dumpling has been rested for a few minutes, go ahead and pinch off a piece and just roll into your hands. These are called spinners, but you can make round dumplings if you like. So here are all the vegetables I've chopped up and diced everything, and this is the spinners that I made. So now let's go ahead and start the base for that soup. So into the pot here, I'm going to add a little bit of oil and then the green seasoning. Now I'm looking to develop the base of this soup because I'm not using any meat here. Normally we would start off this soup with your meat steaming, and that would give you your flavor. So just let your green seasoning bloom here nicely and release its flavors and take off the rawness. Next, I also saved a piece of the pumpkin because that's going to help me to get a nice color and flavor to my soup. So I left it whole here, and I'll just place that into the pot, and I'll add some water to this, and I'll let this come up to a boil until the pumpkin softens. This should take about 10 or 11 minutes depending on how big your pumpkin is. You can also cut this up, but it will be easier if you don't have to fish for your pumpkin pieces later. Alright, so this has been cooking for about 10 or 12 minutes or so, around that. So I'm just going to test if the pumpkin is cooked. Looking at it, and it does look cooked, so yes, it is. So now I'm just going to go in here with my immersion blender. I'm using one so I don't have to move the pumpkin from the pot, but if you have a blender, go ahead and blend up your pumpkin with a little bit of that liquid now. So this is very good, and an immersion blender just emulsifies it in like a minute or less. So while this is boiling up, I'm going to go ahead and just add in all of the chopped veggies here at this point. Everything is cut up so small that they won't take very long. So that is the yam and the potato that I've added in. So now I'm just dropping in my spinners at the moment as well, and I'll just let this come up to a boil. I also have that the pumpkin soup mix. So here I have it in a sifter, so I'm just gonna break it up. It has some little noodles in there which I don't want, so I'm just gonna make sure not to get those in. You can use that if you like, but it just makes the soup too thick and I don't love it. So once that's in, you're gonna go ahead and cover that up and let this come up to a full boil, about 10 or 12 minutes. Again, this won't take long. I'll test for seasoning once this is boiled up. Alright, So this has been cooking for about 13 minutes or so, and everything looks cooked already. Like I said, everything is small dice, so it's easy. As you can see, the dumplings are floating. So I'm testing here for the flavor, and I realize that I do need a little bit. So I'm just using some all-purpose Maggi seasoning here. So eyeball and be careful not to over salt. So test and see how much you need and adjust to your flavor. Scrape down the side of your pot so that all the seasoning doesn't stick to this side. So this looks very good. So now I'm going to go ahead and lay my fish in here. This is quite a big pot, so you could probably fit about 4 fish in here for this amount of liquid, and serve a couple more people. So now I'll just drop in my aromatics, the thyme, the scotch bonnet, the cherry pepper, the scallion, and my all-purpose berries. And I won't stir this fish at this moment because I don't want my fish to break up. Go ahead and add your okras in also, and this just needs another 10 or so minutes again just to cook your fish. So be mindful of how long your fish takes. These aren't big fish, so you will decide that depending on how big your fish is. Cover that up and let it go. All right, so this has been cooking for about 12 minutes. So everything looks pretty good here. The okra is cooked, the dumplings, everything, and the fish. Do you see how white it is right there? That just tells you that it's cooked through. So this is perfect. I like to leave the fish whole so that I don't have to fish for bones and all that later. So this looks delicious, and I'm going to go ahead and serve this up now. All right, so there you have our fish soup laid out nicely on a plate with everything. You can go ahead and try this recipe on a Saturday. Soup is traditionally served in Jamaica, any kind, whether it's hot or cold. So go ahead and make yours. I hope you like the recipe. Like it and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching. Bye now.